what goes through your head when you're gasping for breath. I'm not thinking about lead funnels or marketing tricks. I'm thinking, just get through the next rep. And honestly, that's exactly what starting a business feels like. You wake up with no deals, no pipeline, no referral sources, no momentum. Just me and the choice to move anyway. I've built businesses in the mortgage space before, 4 of them, but this time I'm doing it in public. With the cameras rolling, no safety net. I'm not doing this to show off, I'm doing this to show how. How to start from scratch, how to build something real, how to keep going when no one's watching. I'm training for my first marathon, and I think it's the perfect metaphor. I create a plan, I follow a plan, I show up early, I run when I'm tired, I run when I'm sore. Dan Martell said, exhaust the body, tame the mind, and that's my mantra. That's what this is, doing the hard work and doing the reps to get the business success that I say I want. That's what build mode is. And if you've ever had to start over, you already know what this feels like. From the outside, it's just a workout. But inside, it's everything. No pipeline, no database, no leads, no referral sources, no momentum, no excuses either. This is build mode, and it starts with sweat, silence, and an unshakable belief in myself. Let's go. I've built mortgage businesses before, 4 of them in fact, over the last 33 years. Each time I got better, smarter, more efficient. Each endeavor was bigger and better than the one before it. I learned what works and what's just noise. The last mortgage team and brokerage I built started in 2003. I know. That's a millennium ago in the mortgage space. But in that case, I sold the previous business I built with my partner in Regina, and I moved to Calgary. I knew only 2 other people when I landed in Calgary, my wife's sister and her brother. In 4 years, that business won Brokerage of the Year, and I won Mortgage Broker of the Year at the inaugural Canadian Mortgage Awards. Shortly after that, I blew that business and my life up. More on that later. Part of the why on this build is redemption, for me. They say, hurt people hurt people. And that's what I did on my last build. I hurt a lot of people, and ultimately, I hurt myself. I want to prove that I can do it again from a much more healthy, peaceful, and grounded life that I've now built for myself over years of hard work on me. I'm doing something different. I'm starting from 0 again. And I'm doing it with the cameras rolling. No referral sources to rely on, no database to lean on, no pipeline, no excuses. A big part of the build is about proving that great businesses don't need immense personal sacrifice. They can be built on belief, strategy, and consistent action without sacrificing the other areas of my life that I now hold very dear. Also, I've had a dream since my 2 sons were little guys. They're now 28 and 31, to be in business together. If I can get this business back to the levels I've done before, then maybe, just maybe, I can realize that dream as well. I'm sharing this publicly, not because I need the spotlight, but because I know from the many years I've been coaching brokers, how many brokers out there are struggling silently. And they just don't know where to go to get help. Help in ideas, help in motivation, and most of all, help in their belief about themselves. Some are brand new and terrified. Some are 5-10 years in and burned out. Plateaus are real. Quiet doubt is real. This series is for all of them. This isn't about hacks. This isn't a masterclass. It's a movement. It's a commitment to full transparency. I will also be bringing in my friends, some of the greatest minds in the mortgage space today, to help me give me their tried and tested ideas and advice. What would they do if they had to start all over again? Every win, every misstep, every giant goal, every uncomfortable moment, I'm sharing it all. Because someone else out there might just need to see it to believe in themselves again, like I'm doing right now. And selfishly, I need this too. I want to build something that's not just successful, but aligned, clean, inspiring. Sharing in this series helps to keep my motivation high and my inspiration channeled, so I'm grateful for you showing up. This is a professional mission, but it's also personal. This is Build Mode. Thanks for being here. Now, let's get into it. Every business I've ever built starts with a plan. Not a vision board, not a whiteboard rant, but a real plan. The kind of plan that starts with a simple question: why? We answered that earlier. I know why I'm doing this. I know why it matters to me. But after why comes everything else. What's the problem I'm trying to solve? Where am I taking this and my team and my customers, and how the hell am I going to make it all happen? That's what this document is. This is the Build Mode blueprint. It holds the what, the real world challenge this team is being built to answer, and the where, the vivid vision for where I'm going and who I'm inviting to come with me. And the all-important how, the operating framework that ensures none of this stays theory. I've built this system for myself and for hundreds of brokers I've coached over the years. It's structured, it's measurable, and it's adaptable. And if you want a copy of this, I'm giving it away. No strings attached. Just sign up for Build Mode Weekly. It's where I'll share tools, breakdowns, and play-by-play progress every week. A lot of what I do, like the scripts and copy of certain successful emails, etc., I can't or don't share here in this series given the public domain. But I do plan to share these to our Build Mode Weekly email subscribers, where it's a little more contained and private. So go ahead and subscribe at the link in the description below. You don't need to build alone. You just need the right blueprint and the guts to follow it. Let's walk through this document together. This is where Build Mode becomes real. So as you can see, the first tab is the destination worksheet. This is where everything happens from the beginning. Now, I've already put this in for me. Part of what you may know by now is that you're going to see basically the month of April's results, because I started this build mode in April 1st or so, but I didn't have the vision, or I didn't have the idea that I was going to do it on a YouTube series until about 2 to 3 weeks into April. So here we are. So basically though, let me show you what this means. So I've put in numbers that I think is known from my past or from coaching clients that I work with in this area. And so I'm putting in an average gross commission of $4,500. I put in my split to the company at 30% because I happen to, right from the very beginning, I'm going to be using a underwriting team, doc fulfillment, the whole 9 yards. I will not be doing any of that work. That work should never be done by me. I'm the promoter and the salesperson and the business development person on this team. I am not the one to be doing the underwriting and documents. And I encourage you to think about that the same way. If you're a brand new agent starting out, I know that the idea that somebody may have told you that you need to do that underwriting work so you can understand that part of the business, I just fundamentally disagree with that. However, I also fundamentally disagree that in most cases, if you're good at generating business and you're good at promoting, you're probably not good at the details and the requirements needed in today's day to try to, I guess, be ready for the challenges and the difficulty of getting deals done in today's day. So I think it's the way to go. If you already have a team, this one's probably pretty easy for you to figure out. I use the 30% because it's also another it's the high watermark of what I think you should be paying. If you have a team already and your expenses for underwriting, doc fulfillment, and that kind of stuff is over 30%, that's a red flag. That's something for you to take a look at. However, I'm going to be at the top high watermark as it stands right now. So this will be what my net commission is. I know from my previous experience of running this sheet, I started this sheet in 1997. So I have years and years and years worth of data from previous iterations of my businesses. And so I put in a 49.5% closing percentage on leads to deals, which is actually reasonably high. But I think I can achieve it. And so I also put in an average basis points per deal of 100 basis points, which I think in today's day, we've gotten through the 3-year challenges and all the other things. I think we're in a place where I think I could probably get higher than this, but I put in 100 for now. So if you change these numbers, like for example, if you live in a different area that's going to be 5,500, then you can see that the number of leads and everything just kind of changes, and the number of leads per month changes, etc. So that's going to change all of these numbers. This is the number that says, here's how much money I want to make before expenses in this fiscal year. So I'm starting this business out reasonably small. I only wanted 4 to 5 deals per month. I run 2 other companies at the same time of doing this build mode. And so this was what I wanted. Now, if you're new in the business, your first year in the business, doing what ends up being probably somewhere around 25-ish plus million in your first year, that would be pretty good success. If you're relatively experienced in the business and been experiencing some plateau and why you're interested in this series, then hey, getting a $25 million volume boost is probably going to be really something you're going to really enjoy and like. And so I think these numbers can work, but you can put in any numbers you want. This number here ends up being the number I want. So if I change this number, then it's going to change the number of mortgages that I need to close, which then is also going to change the number of leads and everything that I want. And so you can put in anything you want, but it gives you the numbers. This is the most important part. And I know now I have a guidepost, I have a beacon, I know what I need to do. And then this comes through onto this point and shows me kind of the dashboard of everything that I want to be able to do. I choose my 3 words for 2025, which keeps me focused. So for me, it's inspired because it's the name that we're in and the group of companies that I'm partnered in. Ownwell is the major platform that's built, that's behind all of the build mode, which I'll explain in a future episode. And peace. Peace is something that I've been focusing on in my own personal life for quite some time. So I like having those everywhere you look. You will see it around in different places on my phone. Everything is my 3 words for 2025. So here we are, we got the number of deals that comes, the number of dollar volume we wanted. So the projected volume is going to be this here, which is basically based on my commissioned earned per deals. This, in order to earn 182,000, I need to do 18 million. If I change this number, then it would make these numbers change as well. So basically when you get this sheet, you just work on the things that are yellow. Okay, so this is what I'm going to pay for my split. For also my underwriting and fulfillment, which again, for this size of team and everything, for me to be able to have all of that taken off my plate for $54,000, that's way under what I would pay for my own underwriter and my own doc fulfillment person. So obviously this is the right fit for me. I know some of you are going to say, well, I need to make more money. No, I don't need to make more money. I may have to actually get more business and get more deals. If, for example, I just don't think you need to do the deal from beginning to end. If you're still stuck in that and you're at 20, 25 million and you're still stuck at doing the deal from beginning to end, you will always struggle to grow past that plateau. And so I'm doing it right from the beginning because I already know, I've been through this. It's my experience. I don't like doing the underwriting. I'm not good at the underwriting. I don't want to know all of the various different lender policies. I just want to focus on the thing that I'm really good at, which is sales, promotion, and being able to generate business. So, okay. Then it'll tell me the number of deals that I need to do every month. And it'll tell me then what the resulting volume would be every month, my commission every month. And this is just based on my own experience. Again, I would put these numbers in. I should probably make these yellow. So I would put these numbers in so that this is the percentage of all the business that happens at various months of the year. So this is great. So now I have that plan. I know how many deals I need to do. I also know what my pull-through rate is, which is my application to book deals. So I'll start actually down here because this is where it all starts. You get the number of leads that you get. This will tell me now the number of leads that I need to generate every single month in order to get the number of applications that I need every single month, which will then determine how many deals that I will get every single month. And so these are the three core ratios in my business. My lead to application ratio. How many of my leads can turn into applications? And then the other ratio is how many of my applications turn into book deals. This is a critical number. These two numbers together, when you multiply them, gives you your lead to booked deals ratio. Why is that important? It's the most important because on a month-to-month basis, as I review these numbers, I find out the areas of my business that need tightening, by the areas of my business. If my lead to application ratio is dipping under what it needs to be, I now know that that part of my process, the talking to the lead and getting them to fill an application out, is where the challenge lies, and it's the part that I need to work on. I probably need to work on my discovery call. I need to work on my invitation, getting people to do the application, whatever it might be. If, however, my application to book deals number is low, then I know that once I get the applications from people, there's a problem between that stage and when I get the deal booked and completed. The last two numbers that are important for critical thinking in your business is the average commissions earned per transaction, so that I know that if that's low, then I've got some product choice things I got to think about and or commission-based things I got to think about. I need to earn more revenue per transaction. So I'm always thinking about two things. How do I get more leads? And how do I get more money, more transaction volume, more dollars earned per lead, per transaction? So that's how. So if I'm focused on how many dollars I do earn per transaction and that slips, now I know I can focus on that and tighten it up and make it better. And then the second one is what I call on deck, deals that are on deck. Some people call that pre-approval. I just hate using words that everybody else uses, but it's virtually the same. So currently today I have 8 deals on deck. That means that people have all their documents in, the deal's been approved, the deal's been worked, and the people have chosen us. We're just waiting for them to do something. And so as that number grows, if it's too high, I know some brokers who have 30, 40 deals on deck. That's too high. Now, I don't have a lot of control over that. The market will bear that, but it's still something then I need to focus a lot of my attention on making sure I'm keeping the communications high and checking in with those 30 or 40 people. Because if I have 30 or 40 people on deck, it also means that they're there for a long time, or they've been there for a long time, and I don't want them to forget about me. I don't want them to forget about the value. A nice sweet spot for the type of business I'm building with the volumes that you've seen, I think I want to have an on-deck number of 8 to 12, 8 to 14 maybe. And then I know when I look forward, I've got 12 deals, 8 deals, 10 deals that I know that are going to get into the process of earning revenue and hitting my numbers over the next 60 to 90 days. So that's an important number. But you can see that knowing my numbers in the business is so that I can understand the right questions that I need to ask in my business. It's not to find the answers in my business. It's to find the questions. And then between me, my team, my advisors, my coach, whatever it may be, help me discover the answers to the good questions that I found. Okay, so this is the annual goal tab. That's what that's about. On the plan versus actual, this is the monthly job that I will do every single month to review how things are going. So, as I said earlier, April, by the time I recorded this, April's done and dusted. And so where I ended up was 2 booked deals, 2 deals that were done, ready to go, customers signed off, it's done. Now you can see I planned for 4. So I have a variance right now of -2. That's okay. Listen, I needed some time to get some traction. I knew that this was a bit of a, I need to get the wheels rolling, but then this variance will just continue to grow until I can turn it around, when I can catch up. And so I'm okay with that. It is a red flag or yellow flag, I guess, in a sense that, hey, I didn't hit the number. But let's figure out where the rest of the story lies. I did 10 applications and my goal was 7. So I'm actually 3 ahead here. So I ended up with a lot more applications. So I did get, why is that? Well, the leads, look at the leads. I ended up getting 17 leads in my very first month from starting from scratch. On end of March or April 1st was sort of the official start. And my goal was 7 leads. So I'm 10 ahead already. Now here's what also happened though. My lead to application ratio is at 60% right now. So meaning that only 60% of the leads that I brought in actually did an application. That's low. Remember, I needed it to be about 90. And so that's okay. It's 1 month of data. These numbers, ratio numbers, need trend lines. So it's just good work, good reps to get these in now. And I'll start to see a picture a few months more down the road. However, it's still something this is low. Also, my application to book ratio is really low, which is why I ended up with only 2 deals. I had 7 applications, but I only have 2 deals. Now, remember what I said earlier, I have 8 deals on deck. So I have 8 deals that I know are going to come to fruition over the next 30 to 60 days, which if I have another good lead month in May and application month in May and build on that on deck number, I'm building momentum. And so I feel pretty good about where the business is. Again, 30 days in, starting from ground zero start, I feel really good about where we're at. So, but this allows me to analyze that business and think about it. So here down at the bottom, I haven't really finished working out all of this because I need a little bit more trend information, but essentially I'm going to be able to take my top revenue sources here and I'm going to be able to track which one of those actually, how much business I do in each one of those buckets. Okay, so the next step after I've done my plan versus actual, which is really something I do on a monthly basis just to check. That's the dashboard I use to try to, is there anything I need to focus on? Is there anything I need to pivot? Is there anything I need to work on this coming month? So we're past that. At the beginning of this journey, I filled this tab out, which is my annual plan. I like the idea. Now, I purposefully didn't go out an entire year, although I have before, and mostly it was a timing thing. I just needed to get this next quarter. Always for sure, I got to get a quarter. I need to get a quarter under my belt. I needed to get some reps in. I needed to feel this out. I needed to see kind of where I was going to be going. And so you can see that at the beginning of April, I filled out my plan. What are my objectives for April, May, and June? And so you can see that I kept it consistently. I want 100 Adopt My Mortgage clients. That's going to be more I'm going to talk about in episode 2, but the whole basis of my build mode this time around is to build a significant database on Ownwell, which I call Adopt My Mortgage, which is adopt mortgages from other professionals that I didn't do, but I can now manage. And so I wanted at least 100 of these in every single month of the year. And in order to get those 100 Adopt My Mortgage customers, I need to have what I said to be 4, it says 4 realtor presentations, but really it ended up being just 4 presentations, like talk to 4 different people that have databases that I could adopt. I also wanted to set up my chosen CRM, which I did do. I needed my branding completed, my website done, which is basically done. So the branding guide is essentially done just near the end of April. So I kind of got that under the wire. And so these notes here that I've put in here is just what actually happened for me. And so I keep track of what's going on. And I wanted to get all my past clients from the last 5 years from Venmo. And I never did do the expert thing because frankly, the last time I did a deal in expert was in the 2000s sometime. So I thought it was too far away anyway. So I had about 30 clients that I'd talked to or done something with over the last 7 years or so that I put into Ownwell. So I did that, got that done. And here we are into May. So I'm filming this now at the beginning of May. And so I'm going to start this month. I know what I need: 100 Adopt My Mortgage clients. I need 4 realtor presentations. So I have the plan. I can wake up at the beginning of the month and I know what I'm going to do. So this is all set up for me. I got to get my website done, Google My Business, and my 12 good ideas, which is my database marketing plan, where I send out an email to my database once per month with a good idea. So anyway, so then what happens from here on this planning blueprint is that when I go to Q2, because that's where I started, there's my 3 words again. What am I going to do this quarter? Well, my OKRs is the planning matrix that I use. There's lots of information on YouTube and Google about OKRs. There's good books about it, but it's basically objectives and key results. So this was all copied, as you remember, from the objectives from the previous tab. Well, now what are the tactics and the key results? Like, what do I have to get done? And so I need to get all of these presentations done. I need to get my financial advisors. I've narrowed down a bunch of financial advisors. I set up my pipe drive with my partner, Zach. I have that done and dialed and ready to go for the April. And then, get my branding done, which I did do. So these things are the tactics I need to in order to achieve these. So in May, I'm back to now getting the emails out to the databases I'm adopting so that I can get them into Ownwell and all of that kind of stuff, get some more presentations done. So I'm focused. I know I have a plan. I don't have to worry. I don't have to wake up and go, what am I going to do today? I've already got my plan set out for till the end of June. And so once I get near sometime in June, I'm going to go back to my annual plan and I'm going to put out July, August, and September. So there you have it. This is the build mode blueprint. And this is the basis of all that I'm doing on this particular build. And I'm really excited to have walk through it with you. Now, let's get to work. I want to take a second to thank the sponsors who are making build mode possible. These are companies I actually used to run my business with them, and this series wouldn't be happening without them. First up is Ownwell, the platform at the core of my entire strategy of build mode. Ownwell lets me adopt databases, serve all these past clients at scale, and never miss a mortgage opportunity right now to help people save money on their mortgage. It's the tech platform behind the entire build. Jeff Bezos said, I focus on the things that will never change. In our business, there are 2 things that will never change. Markets are always changing and people's lives are always changing. Ownwell makes sure I am right there when either of those things happen, and those people will think of me. I will either get a certain percentage of people, I'm currently hypothesizing 15%, who will have immediate needs to save money. So I get an Ownwell database in, and 15% of those people will be instant leads in today's market. And then I'll also, for the others, they'll eventually need me. Somewhere along the way, their life will change or the market will change and they'll need a mortgage, and they've been getting great quality information from me for 4 months, 8 months, 12 months, 18 months, 2 years, whatever it takes. When they have a mortgage need, I'm the one they're going to call. If you're a broker who wants to stop chasing leads and start nurturing relationships, Ownwell is the system that I'm betting everything on. Next is Lendesk, the company behind Finmo and Lender Spotlight. I co-founded Finmo and I sold it into Lendesk because I believed in the team at Lendesk. I worked there for 4 years, and I can easily say that the original Finmo team and all of the people at Lendesk are the most high-performing group of people I have ever worked with. I mean, look, Finmo is in fact the best mortgage origination platform in the space. Okay, sure, but again, it matters. The people there are simply the best. With Lender Spotlight, you can research product guidelines and rates faster than ever. And with Finmo, you can give your clients a beautiful, streamlined experience from application to close. I'll be using both of these tools in this build. So if you're serious about growth and you want tools that actually help you move faster and close better, Lendesk is your edge. Check out Finmo and Lender Spotlight now. All right, now let me show you how I took that April plan and turned it into my first meetings. this is where it starts getting real. So I looked at the plan for April, and there it was in black and white, 100 adopted mortgages, 4 presentations. That's the starting line. So that's where I went. And if you're a new broker or someone who's stuck plateauing or watching your volume slip, let me be crystal clear about one thing. You build or rebuild your business on a strong foundation with realtors. But I also this time decided to try a financial advisor as well. Because of the own well focus of my build, I thought I would give that a go. And this is the part of my new build that I'm super excited about. My coaching clients have heard me say this hundreds of times. Every single day, 365 days of the year, there are deals being done right over there in that realtor office. There literally is no other place as a mortgage professional that holds more promise than working with realtors. Now, I get it. Realtors can be challenging. Here's how I frame it. Realtors are challenging to some brokers because they come to them with the same old, I'm a really good mortgage broker, I smile a lot, I'm friendly, and I'll treat your clients like gold, or something like that. I just can't do that, never have. I've always thought, how can I be unique? How can I offer something different? Said another way, how can I offer undeniable value that realtors just can't say no to? That's what Own Well does, and that's the core of my pitch. Here's the pivot. I don't ask for referrals, I ask for databases. That's the key. Because if I can adopt their past clients into my Own Well system, I can nurture them at scale. And when those clients are ready, they raise their hand. That's not a sales trick, that's service. I forget where I saw this, but value, ask for business. I love this strategy for this reason. Here's the email I sent to one of the realtors that I want to work with. Let me just pull it up here. So I looked at it, I thought about it for a minute. I was like, who am I gonna hit up first? And I remembered that I'd been on an email list of a realtor for years. I can't even remember how long. And so he sent me one of his monthly newsletters that I'd been getting for 5, 6, 7 years. And I just said, hey, Brian, been getting your newsletter for some time now, and I quite enjoy your insights. I have a new software that realtors are quite loving to help them engage their database with additional value and click-through demand generation. We're getting north of 60% open rates and north of 50% click-through rates. It helps homeowners manage their mortgage better with real-time insights into their current property value and AI-powered analysis of their current rate to the ever-changing rates in the market to ascertain ideal opportunities to renegotiate their mortgage. Anyway, would love to jump on a quick Google Meet and show you. Get this, a mortgage broker, not asking you for deals or business, ? I want to bring immense value to your business before we start talking about that. Just hit reply with a day or time, you have 15 minutes and I'll show it to you, then we can go from there. Sound good? So nice, easy, quick email. He responded in about 3 hours, which I don't know about you, but I was pretty surprised by that. He said, thanks for the email. I would love to hear more about this. I'll touch base next week and we can set up a time to chat. And he did, and we met. And so you can tell from that particular email that it was short, sweet, but I was hitting with some things that he'd never heard before. And that's what's really important. So then I thought, okay, well, let's try another realtor. And this one, I asked a similar question, I made a similar point about, I've got this new software, you gotta see it. All the realtors in the world love it. And that it's going to make, improve your client relationships, give your clients more value, something to those effect. And in that case, he called me and he invited me to lunch. And he said, I'm gonna bring my partner and 2 other realtors with him. So yes, I got 5 realtors, which was 1 more than my goal, in 2 different outreaches. Then I started thinking about who else might think Ownwell would be interesting. I remembered a financial planner I met at a startup event 7 years or so ago, and I've also been on his email list ever since. And so here's the email that I sent to him. Let me just find it here. Okay, here's the email. Hey, Kenton, been getting your newsletter for some time now, probably since we met to discuss our software startups, and I quite enjoy your insights. Connect the dots, figure out where he knows me from. I recently fully exited out of Finmo, and I'm getting back into my local mortgage business, and I couldn't be happier about it. Okay, giving him some context, remembering where we were. I have a new software that realtors and financial advisors are quite loving. Connect that, make that neuro-linguistic programming. Everybody loves this thing. You're missing out. To help them engage their databases with additional value and click-through demand generation. We're getting north of 60% open rates and north of 50% click-through rates, which I think you know is excellent email marketing metrics. Remember, I'm responding to his email newsletter, so he knows about that. It helps homeowners manage their mortgage better, real-time insights, current property value, AI-powered analysis, throw in the word AI, be able to connect those dots, bring it all together so they think this is really cool. And then I also need a partner in your area of business, as my core product for my new mortgage brokerage is the Mortgage Wealth Management Plan. So now I'm also inviting him to discuss with me about how I could send him business. So a little bit different than I did with the realtor, where I said, I'm not going to ask you for business, I'm going to give value first. In this case, I also let him know I'm looking for somebody that I can send business to. Anyway, I want to jump on a quick Google Meet, show you the software, and discuss a potential partnership. Just hit reply with a day or time. You have 15 minutes and I'll show it to you. Then we go from there. I always put in 15 minutes. It's a low barrier. It takes the risk away. When we set it up, we may in fact go longer than 15 minutes. In fact, on this meeting, I think we went well over an hour, but it was really exciting. He responded back to me while he's on vacation. He did it 3 hours later while he's on vacation. I'd be happy to chat and see what you have to offer. Please book some time for a video call in my calendar. And he gave me his link, and I did that. So that was the 2 outreaches that I did. And now I have 6 people to present to, with 3 outreaches. I'm really cooking. I walked into those meetings, I was prepared, I was focused, and I was dialed. I walked out with, well, you'll see. You already did see my April results. I think some of you may have said, wow, his first month in this business, and he had 17 leads, 10 applications, and 2 booked deals. All of those results came from those outreaches and the subsequent presentations that I did with those particular referral partners. So next time on Build Mode, I'll show you exactly what I pitched them. I'll tell you the questions they hit me with and what happened next. Let's just say it worked out way better than I expected. Okay, let's talk about what's coming in episode 2. I'm gonna go over the exact presentation I pitched those realtors and financial advisors that I got meetings booked with. I'm also going to be bringing a special guest on the next show, who was one of the first employees at HomeBot, the US giant that inspired Ownwell in Canada. She was head of customer success there. I'm gonna dig in and I'm gonna get her to tell me all the best ideas that the biggest and most successful loan officers in the USA, who built databases of tens of thousands of people, and what it meant to their business. This is the core of my entire plan for my new business in Build Mode, so you don't wanna miss the ideas that she's gonna drop on us. If you want the exact emails that I sent, the real scripts that booked the meetings, subscribe to Build Mode Weekly and grab the blueprint. Don't forget, I'm also giving away that Build Mode blueprint planning document and much more. Once again, I'm grateful for my sponsors of this episode and this series, Lendesk and Ownwell. And most of all, I'm grateful for you for watching this first episode. This is what it looks like to build momentum from scratch. One ask, one conversation, one meeting at a time. I'll see you in episode 2, which is titled No Pipeline, No Problem. Hit the subscribe button and smash that bell icon so you get notified when we drop episode 2. Thank you.